fast asleep. And I noticed this green. It's a new colour I invented there. It's a cross between grey and green. But it was actually green. Laser beam pen shining through the curtains. What's going on here? I had a look outside. This bloke, sort of frothing at the mouth with massive eyes. Opened the window. I said, "What's up with you, mate?" He said, "Get him out here now." I said, "What?" "I know he's in there, and I can't do a Cockney accent, or it might be better than this." And he said, "Get him out here now, I know he's in there." And I said, "I think you've got the wrong house, mate." He said, "It's not a house, it's a flat." Yeah, I liked it. Good to be corrected vocabulary-wise by an office head Cockney bloke. I'm sure it's happened to some of you. So I moved to Torquay. What's funny about that? Good place. Good thing about it is there's no Cockneys there, which I class you as, to be honest. Like people from Margate. And their river is called Wantsum. Proper Cockney river, that is. Wantsum. Got rubbish rivers down here, you know. So anyway, I moved to Torquay, as no one fancies a chat about rivers. Got a couple of rivers down there, but that's unimportant. Well, we moved next to this bloke who was, could well have been from Margate, in fact, because he probably voted UKIP. And that you're the only place we've done a gig at that had responsible voting outcome. Yep. And I blame Northerners that voted UKIP for the problems you lot are going to have in the next 5 years. Me, I'm not bothered. I live in Torquay. I'm used to things like that. So anyway, moved next door to this bloke, and he had this car parked outside, which I reckon would have been there 3 or 4 years. Big dent in the front, covered in rust. And one day this little kid's football hit the tyre. Now, footballs and tyres, similar constitution in chemistry, I find. That's it, whatever you said. And this bloke, first time I'd ever experienced him, he said, "Mind my car," which I thought was quite strange. And one day it snowed. Felix is... Yeah, go on, leave it. One day it snowed, and as you know, Torquay is in the English Riviera, where it's not supposed to snow. It's supposed to have palm trees growing. And they shut down disabled people homes to build roundabouts with palm trees. You get the picture. Anyway, this bloke sums up the whole county. And it's millimetre of snow on about 15 cars. A couple of kids managed to rustle up a snowball between them. And this bloke shouted out of his window, he said, "Leave my snow alone." Now you're getting the picture. It gets worse, because people believed this bloke, that I was a bully and threatened and swore him and things like that, which is obviously not in my nature. Although it was after a couple of years. But the wife was coming home from work one day, whistling the theme to Teletubbies. And he leaned out of the window again and said, "My wife's not fat, she's pregnant." That took me a while to get that one. But it was worth it in the end. And his mother-in-law used to babysit. And one day, you'd see the curtains twitching, things like that. So it was obvious. And one day, talking to my cousin outside, And she came downstairs and put 2 empty milk bottles on the step for the sole intention of eavesdropping. Now, how do you know that, Ted, you're thinking to yourselves? I'll tell you. There's no milk round in our streets. That's how I worked that one out. And the punchline of it all, when I think people finally believed this bloke was a bit UKIP orientated, was looked out of the window one day, pouring with rain. He pulled up over the road, thought nothing of it, looked out the window 10 minutes later, still pouring with rain, and he was still sat in his car. Thought nothing of it. 20 minutes went by, knock at the door, it's the police. They said, "Excuse me, sir, we've had complaints of intimidation." So, yeah, that's what I was expecting, I said to him. I said, "What is it now then?" He said, "Well, he's too frightened to get out of the car, and he's worried his frozen food will thaw out." There, that's the end of that. And thankfully he moved shortly afterwards. And I did shortly afterwards. But the other bloke, 2 doors down, used to see him every day cleaning rugs and carpets out on the back on them triangular washing line things. And one day he said, "Any chance of lending a tenner, Ted? I need to get some food for the baby." I said, "Yeah, of course. It's the most important thing." So he went to the shops, he bought 8 cans of Stella, 10 cigarettes and a packet of Rizzlers, and a tin, and this is no special offer with labels stuck on it or anything. The brand name of this delightful food was 21 pence best in value mints. And that's when I realised, 1, it wasn't his baby's favourite food, and 2, that's why he was cleaning carpets every day. So I put them together. And the area was called Ellicombe. Sounds pleasant, but everyone said, "Oh, that's the rough part of Torquay, that is." And they had this graffiti, "The Ellicombe Mafia." Right, coming back from the shop, saw these 2 kids with the hoodies on. I said, "Oh, are you the Ellicombe Mafia?" Started to, nearly burst into tears. And they ran away. That's the problem solved. Did anyone thank me? No. But I think they moved up to near Playmore, where Waitrose is. I spotted this graffiti on the wall, which hopefully next year I'll use for a backdrop. And it's TQ1 for life, written in hip-hop style graffiti. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Took a picture of it. Look at it nearly every day. Reminds me of home, you see. Anyway, anyone been to Torquay? Yeah? Well, you must be either a Scouser, a Brummie or a Glaswegian.
I'm a Glaswegian.
You are, yeah. I told you, didn't I? It's so easy, this job, I told you.